An insight pack does not need to be a large document. In fact, if it becomes too large, it may stop being useful. The aim is not to create a folder full of background reading. The aim is to give the bid team enough clear, practical input to build a strong storyboard without chasing basic facts. A good minimum viable insight pack should answer 6 questions. What is driving the customer? What risks or pain points matter most? Who are the stakeholders? What is the competitor context? What is our bid strategy and solution direction? And what proof do we have? Let's take those one at a time. The first part is customer drivers. This is where we explain why the customer is buying, rebidding, changing, extending, or testing the market. Are they trying to reduce cost, improve service resilience, respond to political pressure, protect income, improve customer experience, modernise technology, reduce complaints, increase transparency, support environmental or social value goals? The important point is to move beyond generic statements. Most customers care about quality, cost, risk and value. That's not enough. The pack should say which drivers matter most for this customer in this procurement at this moment. The second part is risk and pain. What is the customer worried about? What's gone wrong before? What would embarrass them? What would create complaints? What would make mobilisation feel unsafe? What are they likely to challenge in our solution? This section should include both operational pain and emotional pain. A customer may worry about service performance, but they may also worry about public criticism, councillor escalation, internal workload, legal challenge, poor data, supplier disruption, or loss of control. Good bids reassure the customer against those risks, but they can only do that if the risks are known before the writing starts. The third is stakeholder mapping. This does not need to be a complicated process, but it does need to be useful. Who is the sponsor? Who scores the response? Who influences the specification? Who owns the service day to day? Who owns the budget? Who receives complaints? Who will suffer if mobilisation fails? Who is supportive? Who is sceptical? And who needs reassurance? The stakeholder map should not just list names and job titles, it should explain what each group probably cares most about. The finance lead may care about cost certainty and reconciliation. The operations lead may care about continuity, resourcing and escalation. A customer services lead may care about complaints and accessibility. A senior sponsor may care about reputation, risk and strategic outcomes. That should shape the bid. The fourth part is competitor context. This is often where insight is weakest. The pack should give a realistic view of how a strong competitor may frame the opportunity. They may lead with lower risk mobilisation, sharper analytics, stronger self-service, a leaner operating model, better dashboards or more standardised delivery. We do not need a perfect intelligence on this to think competitively. We need a disciplined hypothesis. What will they claim? Where might they look stronger? Where might they attack us? Where might they underprice risk? Where do we need to ghost their weaknesses without naming them? For example, if a competitor is likely to promise a technology-led step change, our response may need to show practical technology already working, named owners, integration controls, and evidence that improvement is deliverable without disruption. The fifth part is bid strategy and solution direction. This is where the insight becomes a proposition. What are our provisional win themes? What are we keeping because it works? What are we improving because the customer needs more? What are we changing because the current model is not enough? What are we not offering because it adds complexity or cost without scoring benefit? This section should also flag any solution choices still open. If the operating model, pricing assumptions, technology approach, mobilisation plan or risk position is not stable, the pack should say so clearly. It is better to expose uncertainty early than to hide it until drafting collapses. The sixth part is proof. This is where many bids lose marks. The pack should identify the evidence needed to support the strategy, not just case studies or KPIs, but specific proof. Which performance data, which customer outcome, which audit result, which dashboard, which named example, which testimonial, which local statistic, which comparable contract, and just as importantly, who owns it, how recent is it approved for use, and does it actually prove the claim? A strong insight pack makes proof visible before the response is drafted. For example, if the win theme is low risk continuity with controlled improvement, then the proof might include mobilisation performance, current KPI results, system uptime, issue resolution examples, complaint trends, customer feedback and evidence of improvements delivered during the current contract. If the win theme is better customer experience, the proof might include first contact resolution, complaint handling times, vulnerability support outcomes, accessibility measures, quality assurance results and lessons learned from live service. The minimum viable insight pack should be short enough to use and strong enough to guide guide decisions. A practical format might be 1 or 2 pages of summary supported by simple tables for stakeholders, competitors, risks and evidence. The test is not whether the pack looks impressive, the test is whether the writer can use it. Could they build a strong first storyboard without chasing basic customer knowledge? Could a reviewer understand the strategy? Could a solution owner see what must be stable? Could a proof owner see what evidence is missing? Could the team explain why this bid will win? If yes, the pack is doing its job. If no, then the bid is not ready. The Insight Pack is not paperwork. It is a bridge between customer knowledge and a winning response.